Welcome to Bass University Live, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your angler's coffee like I am every morning. Well, welcome to Tuesday morning. Glad to have you guys with us. We're happy to be here. Talk some fishing on this amazing October morning. Wow, so beautiful outside, unseasonably warm. The fishing is rocking and rolling. Things are moving and shaking on all the bodies of water around us. Unfortunately, my co-host and producer's boats are both down and out.
Yes. With looking at the final event of the
Is this the final event? I thought there was one more.
This is the final event on Saturday for the Chester County Trail, and that's the one that everybody wants. So we're hoping that we're going to be back on the water here in the next couple of days. We'll be fishing regardless, even if we're fishing with a bad trim on my boat on Saturday. We'll be on the water.
Yeah,
you're not going to hold us down.
We're not. Nobody's going to hold you guys back. You're sitting in fourth. I think you got a good shot at winning it, and the conditions should be phenomenal. Super excited to have Justin Hamner with us, Bassmaster Classic champ this year. We had a great talk with him on Bass University Live just after he pulled the trigger on that big win. And we're going to be talking to him about that, but also about jerkbait fishing. That's if you guys haven't taken the opportunity to watch his jerkbait tutorial on Bass University, you need to go check it out. It is really innovative on how he's using it, how he's weighting it, the types of bills and depths that he's using to trigger strikes and control depth with those baits is all over there on bassu.tv. And we've got a great opportunity to get subscribed, as always, over at Bass University. What do we got going on right now, Josh?
We had the hoodie deal.
The hoodie deal.
Today might not be the perfect weather for a hoodie. Tomorrow.
This morning it was.
Yeah, for about an hour.
Yeah. Check out the new Bass U hoodie. Get subscribed and get access to all the great tutorial content, including 1,400 training seminars from the world's best pros, including Justin. So,
and if you are paying attention, we're going to do a trivia. So one of our members will be also getting that Bass University hoodie.
Excellent. Ooh, is that the grand prize today?
Yes, that's our grand prize, and our like and share is Crush City.
All right.
Crush City. Nice.
Good deal. And by the way, our ticket window is open. We didn't announce that on the last show because Jocelyn was not here to crack the whip on us.
Seriously.
And we slipped and missed it. But we remembered this time.
Yes, it's open, and we're going to Texas and Anderson, South Carolina, and get your early bird tickets today.
Hey, Rich, leak it out a little bit. Who are some of the speakers we might have working for us this year that we're planning on? Yeah. This is tentative now, but we're close to finalizing some of these schedules.
Yeah, you can expect to see some faces you've seen before and some new faces. You'll see to the likes of G-Man and Brian Thrift and Hunter Shryock, Kyle Patrick, and you'll see some big names over there in Texas as well. One of the absolute on fire up and comers, Dakota Ebear, is going to be joining us in Athens, Texas.
Excellent.
As well as
fresh qualifier for the elites.
Fresh qualifier for the elites, but not a rookie he'll be a rookie on the Elite Series, but not a rookie in professional fishing by any stretch. And it's going to be another great year in the classroom. So
I think Kyle Patrick needs to do a seminar on how to tie with his toes.
Yeah,
we could have him do that in the classroom. Actually, it might get awkward barefoot in an auditorium, but we can definitely do it.
Hey, whatever it takes.
It's gonna be another great year in the classroom. And for guys, if you're not familiar with what a day at Bass University looks like, it's really a great experience for anybody that likes to fish, bass fish, wants to learn, or you just enjoy, being around other people that enjoy the sport. It's an interactive day. You're one-on-one. You're face-to-face with the professional angler instructors that we're going to have in the classroom with us. You get to see 6 seminars throughout the day. There's a breakout session where you get to have FaceTime with each guy, and then there's a roundtable discussion at the end, and we give away a lot of great prizes as well. But the juice is really in the value that you can learn from learning from their seminars, getting your questions answered that you may have about what the topics are. It's really it's a unique experience, and it's a great gift if you're looking for a gift to give to the fishermen in your life, or you're just looking to learn on your own. Strongly recommend you check it out.
Yeah,
we love seeing your
ask your girlfriend, ask your wife. That's what you want.
Yeah,
come down and see. Jump on a plane, drive, whatever
Yeah.
you got to do.
Oh yeah,
We got people coming from as far away as Japan at times to see our courses. So
Yeah.
you guys come on, join the fun, join the party.
Dan
What do you got?
Allen says in capital letters, such a must, best classroom instruction you can receive. And he was in our Athens, Texas last year.
He
So
sure
we
was.
hope to see you back again this year, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to have you with us in the show, Dan. As usual, we have the, what do we call it? The Dan the Dan Allen
Memorial.
What's the right word? The Dan Allen Prize. That's
Yeah.
what we'll
Foundation.
Keep it short
Yeah,
and
he's won so many of
He's
these
won a bunch.
contests. Yep. So guys, hope to see you in class. It's going to be great. Go over to bashu.tv and you can get tickets there and come down and see us.
Yep.
So I guess without further ado, I see them over there in the waiting room. Let's bring them in because we're awful glad to have them with us again. I haven't talked to you, Justin, since you won the big prize, man. How you doing?
Doing good. You're the first person I've talked to since I've won too. Gosh. Sorry. This turn.
Well,
Microphone.
I'm awful glad to have you with us, man.
What's thanks
going
for
on?
having me.
Man, it's had to be a whirlwind. We got to catch up. What have you been doing? I saw you, holding the trophy at the racetrack there just a moment ago. It's probably been a whirlwind over the last few months.
It's been insane. I mean, ever since winning it, y'all. I'm sure you remember Ike's tour after he went through everything. I don't know if it was as crazy as that, but it's been insane. I've gotten to do things I never would have dreamed of doing. I mean, we were sitting there at, like on pit row, sitting up in one of those things for Ross Chastain, and like beside us was Michael Jordan sitting with his crew, and dude, what?
That's awesome.
Did you and Jordan swap some fishing stories?
Yeah. He beat me in that too. So then we went and played horse, and I showed him what was up.
Yeah.
That's all. Well, what about like right after? I remember when we were talking, you were heading home and you had like block parties that were going to go down. What happened? What went down when you brought the trophy home?
When I got home, so my friends and my wife, they set up like a big party and went and had just a giant crawfish boil.
Yes.
And I mean, can't beat it. It's been insane.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So you're at the racetrack, you're talking to Jordan, and what else have you done?
I don't know. I haven't slept much. That's on like my bucket list. Maybe one of these days we can get some sleep. But no,
dude, I don't recommend it, man. You're crushing it on the tournament trail, and maybe this sleep deprivation is good for you.
I guess maybe so. And we got another kid that's gonna be due in about a month. So yeah, there definitely ain't gonna be no sleep after that. Good
You know what
gosh.
that's like. It's but that's maybe you'll benefit from the good luck baby charm that happens often out on the tournament trail. Why not?
Oh,
Why not
yeah.
just go win another classic?
That's the plan. I mean, it worked. If people would have told me it was going to be this good after you win the classic, I'd have done it sooner. This is
Exactly. That's what my son says to me. Dad, why don't you just go win the classic? I'm like, yeah, okay. That's it. It's
Yeah.
that simple, right? Just
No
go
problems.
get it done.
No problem.
Well, shoot, man. Well, you I remember we were talking about what was the iced tea company that you were into? Is that what you're drinking right now?
Oh, Milo's.
Milo, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Is that on your boat now? Did that go down?
Not yet. I thought it was happening, and we haven't made a deal yet. Still working on that one.
Okay, come on, Milo, step
You're
it
still
up.
supporting
I
the
know,
product.
right? I
Yeah.
that's the problem. I can't stop drinking it. They got me hooked now.
Yeah, they're gonna get getting the money from you. Why make the money go the other way?
Yeah, somebody told me that I should boycott them since whatever, if they're not going to sponsor me. I was like, I don't know, let's pick something else. So
Yeah. Well, I was hoping that one came through for you, but it's had to be a whirlwind, man. Like, what about what else has happened on the business front? Like, were you able to acquire some new sponsorships, or has business been good post Classic? Because it's been a weird year in the fishing industry. How's it been for the Classic, champ?
yeah, from everything I've heard, it sounds like it was a good year to win the Classic, because it has been pretty great for me. I've been so thankful, and really it's mainly just all the sponsors that I had before, just stepping it up. I might have a couple different ones, but I'm excited that I'm staying with a lot of these companies that I already know and love, and you know work out different deals. Ain't no doubt about that. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
going good.
man, that's good news. I know
Yeah.
we were kicking around some things like what were you going to do with this money? Some of the guys from Bass University were anxious to help you spend the money. I remember that you were you were kicking around some ideas. What did you do something? Did you buy a new house, or what did you do?
The first thing we did, I actually got to take my daughter to Disney World. That was
Oh,
pretty
that's
cool.
awesome.
So we got to do that, and I mean that's just I'm not a fan of Disney at all, but just seeing her face and everything, it was awesome. Um,
Yeah,
we're working on
that probably cost the entire Classic check
yeah, I
for
think
that
we had
Disney
like
World trip.
12,000 left
Oh,
after that. Hey, I do have a tip. If you're going to Disney, we got like an Airbnb like 2 miles down the road. Dude, that's
yeah,
the way to go. I mean, for like $100 a night, it had like a whole water park there at the like neighborhood. Yeah,
yeah.
that,
Jocelyn,
that
you
helped.
look like you want to weigh in on that.
I think Bass University should take a trip to Disney World. In that Airbnb.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, you get us access to the Disney ponds to fish, and we will work that out.
Sounds like fun.
Did you get into the ponds? Did you do any of the fishing down there, Justin?
And not when we were down there. And I think I told this story when I was on Ike's podcast, but me and my dad, long time ago, when I was fishing that junior world championship, Ike was like at Outback, and he came and actually sat down with us. He remembered me from like the whole banquet the night before, and dude, it was so cool. But he taught me and my dad into going to those ponds, and we didn't even know you had to pay, so we just like snuck in and we started walking the banks, just wearing them out. It was so much fun
That's
until they
awesome.
kicked us out.
Yeah.
That's
great.
That's great. Well, do you have to like pay to fish from the bank for those ponds?
Uh, apparently, you have to pay to like get a whole guide trip and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you're not supposed to walk the bank and fish the ponds.
You guys are just wearing them out on a wacky worm bank.
Dude, oh no, this is straight spinnerbait. That gold on gold War Eagle
Oh
spinnerbait.
yeah.
Oh, Florida killer.
Yeah, that's awesome. What
Yeah.
did like Mickey come over in like a security suit and escort you out of there?
No, it was Donald Duck, obviously.
He's not putting up with it.
No,
Donald's
that's
not
his
putting up-
pond.
Oh man, leave it to the Hamners. Get out there and just crash the ponds, man. I love
Yeah.
it. Old school. That's
It was
good. But
good times.
I had an opportunity to fish those ponds, and they're absolutely, they're stacked with fish, man. It's a lot of fun. So Justin or Jocelyn, you're in charge. Get us
Yeah.
get us
We need
access.
some help with the Bassmaster Classic champ to get us some.
Yeah,
access.
maybe if we bring Justin with us, we can get in there.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll take Mickey fishing. I mean, sounds like an amazing video.
I agree. I wonder if Mickey can catch him. I don't know.
I
We know this
don't
guy
really
can
care
catch
as long as I get to fish.
him. We know this guy can catch him. It's been pretty cool, man. Like we were talking last time, and you know, the pressure. Like you had the classic, one, right? So what was this year going to look like? You know what I mean? Were you going to fish better because of the lack of pressure, or was it going to be a tougher year for you? I think you answered that question nicely.
Yeah, it opened it up to not having that worry about
Yeah,
requalifying, and that's what I was so excited about. Like I was going to swing for the fences and try to win every tournament, and you know, even though I never even won a tournament, like I don't know how many top tens it was this year. It was insane, but it just goes to show like when you're actually going out there trying to win those tournaments, you're gonna come a heck of a lot closer than if you're just sitting there trying to cut that check. So it really opened my eyes. So like I'm excited about even next year. Just keeping
yeah,
that same mentality, not even worrying about trying to qualify for the classic and all that. Just freaking go for it. I did
just
some stupid stuff, but except for 2 times, it worked out.
what do you mean you did some stupid stuff? What do you mean?
Well, I don't know about but I did some, really, really off the wall, just I mean, like, St. John's River, I ran a really long ways opposite of everybody else.
Oh,
Um, in the first day, I had, like, 5 pounds. I mean, it was terrible. So I just doubled down and went back again and had, like, one of the biggest bags. So,
Whoa, that's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah,
just
it gives you the freedom to just swing for the bleachers. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, but man, it worked out for you nicely.
oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean, this whole year, I think I said I only had 2 bad days out on the water, and one of them was that first day at St. John's, the next one was the last day at St. Lawrence where I mean, it just, like, fell apart, but it's a whole different story. But I
Well,
was still making 20-mile run when, I could have played it safe and went and caught 20 pounds out of the river, but I was still just kept that same mentality trying to win that tournament.
yeah, 120 miles, man. That's taking you into the lake. That's a recipe for disaster if it doesn't go your way.
Oh, yeah, when you only have about 2.5 hours to fish,
Oh my
if those
gosh.
smallmouth move, and they've been known to move a couple times,
Yeah.
if they move, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you better be able to find them quick or it's gonna be a rough day.
No
Ugh,
kidding, man. I guess that's what happened to you. They
yeah,
s-
it
they
did.
split they split the scene.
Well, they're actually so I was fishing shallower than everybody, and,
Mhm.
there was an algae bloom, and I noticed, like, the water looking weird when I got there that morning, and, like, something's up, maybe I just can't see good enough, and then as the sun actually got up further, I could tell it was just something was off, and, I mean, I was stubborn, tried to still make them bite, and caught, like, a 5.5 that probably was the worst thing that coulda happened pretty quick, and, yeah, just tried to make those fish bite, knowing
Yeah.
that something was off.
so did
Uh,
the
mm.
algae bloom came in like overnight, or what went down?
Yeah, so the wind kinda shifted, I guess,
Uh-huh.
and it actually was, like, blowing from the bank, so it was protected, so it's not like it muddied it up or whatever, but I guess that, like, even shallower up, that little
Right.
bit of algae bloom because I was fishing at, like, 10-ish foot of
Yeah.
water, and, dude, I don't know.
It
I
pushed
wish
it
some
pushed the algae off like the tops of the like the shallower grass up on the bank, and it moved it out into where you were fishing. Is that what
Yep,
went on?
because I was fishing, like, out off of the edge of a lot of that grass and stuff like that
Yep.
in those bays, like, right on. Because I mean, I was targeting fish, like, immediate post spawn, I'm figuring, so they're coming out of those bays, and I was hitting, like, those secondary points and stuff like that, isolated boulders.
Right.
I mean, it was and then, Corey won, like, just literally right outside of, you know, where I was at, just out a little bit deeper.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
I think those fish just kept on moving. I was too dumb, too dumb to keep going.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, if you'd had 4 hours to find them, you would have had. I'm sure you'd have been able to do that. That's
Oh
such
yeah.
a small window.
Yeah, seriously.
What other thing sticks out in your mind? Like when you talk about like going for it, or having the freedom to go for the win. Like what did that mean in some of the other tournaments this year? Like you made a long run in St. Lawrence and the St. Johns Rivers. That seems like that was going for broke, going for the win mentality. What about some of the other bodies of water that you fished?
So like a good one is Wheeler Lake, and I've kind of talked about that one a lot. Was just having the freedom to be able to fish at home more. Um, I like Wheeler Lake is somewhere I think I've been there twice as a co-angler, and that was it. Like I knew nothing about the place.
Mhm.
But back home, I was just fishing every chance I could get, and the Tailrace here, like on our river, was I mean, it was going off. I was catching giant spotted bass on a glide bait. So then we, had the Wheeler tournament. I was like, well, heck, I'm gonna go up to that Tailrace and try to make that glide bait deal work. And I ended up in the tournament. I was the only boat up there, and I mean, anybody that knows about the Tennessee River knows how notorious it is for those giant bags up at the tail races. So I was pretty shocked on when I got up there and was all by myself. But yeah, all 4 days just going up there, throwing a big live bait, throwing a jerk bait. Actually bailed me out on the third day. But yeah, just going for it and being by myself and make that long run and avoiding, I knew that the Decatur Flats is probably where it was going to go down, but being able to have somewhere by myself, just I
Why do
like
you
that.
think? Why do you think the tail race in that tournament didn't get as much attention as it probably should have?
They weren't pushing enough water. Every day they would just like for about an hour or two, they would turn on the generators and actually have a little bit of current. And if you
Right.
weren't there, then it wasn't happening. But
So did you stay there through the bad times of the day and just figure out how to catch them without the current, or were you just relying on that window?
I was relying on that window. And I look it up online and it shows you when it's supposed to turn on, and it was never accurate any
Mm.
day. So just know that if y'all are fishing tournament on Tennessee River, don't trust that generator schedule. So I kind of just had to sit there and wait and hope and
Yep.
pray to turn on at some point.
Yeah, well, that's fun. I was just down there with the high school championship on Chickamauga. We were tail race fishing, and we never, just like you said, you never know what you're going to get. You got to show up, and if they're pulling water, they're pulling water. You just kind of hang out and wait for it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, because like as soon as they would turn it on, within 5 minutes, I had this one little rock pile. They would come up schooling and just busted. And that I think it was day two. They turned on the water for about 2 hours that day, and that's when I had like 20 something pounds, like one of the bigger bags of the tournament. So it's
nice.
crazy how big of a difference it makes having
Is
that generator.
No kid. Well, you were
Mm.
talking about spots. Were those spots on Wheeler?
Oh no, no, it was mostly largemouth. Dude, I never could figure out the smallmouth deal.
Hmm.
And I think that's what was missing for everybody trying to figure it out, because the smallmouth deal is usually on those boulders, out there in the middle, but I don't know where those fish were. And apparently nobody else could figure it out too.
Yeah.
I think I caught one smallmouth the whole tournament, but it was like a 4.5. So
Nice, nice. Where in those is that 18-inch minimum one fish? Does that apply to Wheeler too?
nope, nope. It's like Pickwick. I mean, it's
Okay.
it's pretty much just
Wide
I
open.
believe it's 14 or 15 inches, but you can have all five.
I got you. Yeah, because I think it's Tennessee that
State of Tennessee.
state
Yeah.
of Tennessee that ramps or that
18
limits
inches.
that one fish for 18 inches.
Yeah, it's so weird, and it's only like that like southeast corner. Because if you go up to Cherokee, you can have all 5.
Right.
That's a weird deal.
That is a
Hmm.
weird deal.
Hmm.
Yeah, my boys caught a lot of smallmouth on Chickamauga, believe it or not, and that 18-inch limit was giving us fits, but that's always the case, If it's 18 inches, you're catching 17-inch fish. But
Oh yeah.
but they had a good time, and the tail race, that's phenomenal. You were by yourself. I can't believe it, on Lake Wheeler, such a notorious place
Yeah.
to be searching.
Did you think you would have that all to yourself, or did you expect to have to work through other boats up there during the tournament?
Oh, I was like a late boat number for that first day, so I didn't even go straight up there. Because in my head I was like, there ain't no way I get that rock pile. Like it's a big community hole, I figure. And yeah, so I actually started on like a couple other like creek mouths working my way up there. And then when I got up there was nobody there. I was like, all right, let's go.
Awesome.
That is awesome. What other any other tournaments stick out in your mind this year?
Yes, like Smith Lake. That was one that honestly, I really thought I was gonna blow that one out of the water. Um, I mean, I was just doing something completely different than everybody else. I knew I could catch that 12 to 15 pounds probably if I did the whole Demiki rig out in the middle. But dude, I was doing like a giant spoon and just straight going for it. I mean, I would only get 5 or 6 bites a day on that thing, but if I could have got a little bit of sun come out, I think the sun came out for like it was the final day for about 2 hours in the afternoon, and I caught more in those 2 hours than I did the rest of the whole tournament because it was cloudy and whatever during that. But yeah, practice, I was catching 20 to 22 pounds,
Ooh,
just cracking them. Giant spots.
might have had a little too much fun in practice.
Dude, it was so good.
Oh man,
Oh, man.
that sounds too fun. Well, it
Yeah.
was a great season. I mean, I think what were you, 5th place in AOY?
Yep.
Man,
Thank
that's fantastic. I mean, a lot of guys come off of the classic win. A lot of times it's the distraction of being the classic champ that can get in your way. Having to do appearances and go do different things. And we've seen, some guys come off that title and they kind of have a crummy year right after. But not, a lot of guys do like you did, man. They fish free and they have fun doing it. And you did it and you had a great season. How do you think that's going to change for you this next year? Or are you going to? I guess you're going to continue with that. Why not go for the win strategy?
Absolutely, I am. I think one of the biggest things was just the confidence it gives. Like,
Mm,
especially me, it gave me so much confidence. Like, if you can win that tournament, heck, I don't know, it felt honestly like it solidified me, if that makes sense. Like,
mm,
I was always kind of back and forth between trying to do the whole fishing thing and then still having to provide for my family and working when I get back home and being able to have that, like, kind of breakout moment, I guess,
mm-hmm.
just gave me all the confidence in the world. Like, this is really am what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, and just all in.
Awesome.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
it.
that's the dream, and it really happened. And I guess that's every angler battles that, trying to find their spot. And of course, winning the classic, certainly catapults you to that spot. But until you get your first win or your first major accomplishment, I think every angler struggles with doubt.
No doubt. I know I did. Like, I felt like I belonged there, but it was like, am I ever gonna be able to win against these guys? And it's
Yeah.
just, dude, it's so tough. They are so good. And I mean, I don't know. Everybody that comes in, it seems like that's like one of the first things they'll all say is like, I didn't realize how good everybody was. Like, I thought I was killing it, and then you come back to weigh in, it's like, oh, you might make the top 50.
Wow.
Like, what? Uh,
Yeah, that's there's the competition is stout, and you got to get over that hump of getting that W to build to stabilize your confidence. And then what we've seen a million times is, once guys win, they're a million times more likely to win again. Even if it took them a long time to get that first W. But once that W happens, it can be almost like an avalanche where every year they're threatening to win tournaments again. And I think it's just like you say, it comes from that confidence. Oh, I can do this. I do belong here.
hmm And you stop like second guessing your decisions, and just
Yes.
gosh, when you can do that, and I know it, it's all the ups and downs of fishing. Everybody goes through it, but gosh, when you start hitting that high, you're not second guessing your decisions. Some crazy things can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, take us to the classic. What do you think helped you to overcome that? Like to be able to make those right decisions, to get that W, because it's not easy to do. You almost try. I think a lot of times guys try to force it too much, and I've heard it described like you got to let the tournament come to you, or you got to let the patterns come to you. Did you feel like that when you were going through the classic win?
I, I don't know if it was more of letting the pattern come to you. I was more of, I mean, my confidence was through the roof. I don't know. It was a weird feeling that whole, like, even leading up to it, I was like, gosh, everything just was setting up exactly for my wheelhouse, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
give me a jerkbait, give me a jig, and let me go to work on some deckum trees and brush tops. Like, it's on. That's Alabama fishing 101. And just the way everything seemed to be setting up. Like, I had a terrible practice. Um, but it was that cold front that was coming through, and I knew that those fish that were really wanting to push up they were gonna get hung up, in that transition. They weren't gonna keep going up shallow, and, I mean, it was exactly what happened, and those fish were like, everybody was fishing the same kind of stuff, same areas, but just blowing through it, and I really, really just picked it apart. Like, I mean, I would fish some laydowns or treetops, just 30, 40 casts just to get that right angle, because, if you could, once I had, like, I could actually see a bass come out of that, like, laydown, because there were so many other, like, junk fish and trash fish, um, but that bass would actually react to your jerkbait. Once I saw that he was mine. And I mean, I would just keep on until I got that right angle, and they'd eventually just commit. So, yeah, it was really about just slowing down, just
Mm.
picking everything apart and not getting in too big of a rush.
And you can do that when you're fishing in your wheelhouse, and it looked like that. Look like a duck on water when you're. And I could, listening to your seminar that you did with us last year, right before the classic, about jerkbait fishing. It's you hear like all those techniques you taught us. You went and just used them, to crush that tournament. So that was pretty awesome. Credit to Riz for getting you and picking the jerkbait seminar that went and won the classic. That was pretty amazing work, Rich.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's I always say it's easy to do when you work with the most talented group of anglers on the planet. One of them is bound to win. Thank you, Justin, because you did that for me.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. It
Yeah.
was pretty cool because, I mean, I don't know how in depth I went into it, but I know I talked about, like, fishing that deeper diving jerkbait through treetops
Hmm.
and how it can deflect through there and stuff. And I mean, dude, that's something I've made so much money off of that. You might need to edit that part out.
That is awesome, because I know, man, jerkbait and timber is like, man, they stick like glue. Uh, but that bigger bill is not something that I've ever, until until you taught us about it, I would have never thought it would have made a difference, but apparently it does.
Nah, it don't.
Well, hey, Rich, seasons are changing, man.
Yeah.
It looks like it's jerkbait season again.
Yeah, it looks like jerkbait's coming back around, and that's why that's one of the reasons we wanted to get you on here, Justin, is to hear a little bit about what your jerkbait strategies look like in the fall. I mean, I know it's a bait that you employ pretty much 365 days a year, but specifically in the fall, how do you fish that thing, man? What is your approach to jerkbait fishing this time of year look like?
This time of year it's the hardest. Like, no doubt it is the hardest time of year, especially like kind of for the jerkbait, because you have to get so dialed into the size of bait fish, at least around here. When it's that fall and they start feeding on that really, really tiny stuff, it can get tough. And I mean, I'm throwing like, dude, I have tried some like those little crappie jerk baits just to try to get them to be able to just eat it or react to it. But um it's so much about matching the hatch right now. And what I've actually found more success in, instead of trying to make those fish that are, just schooling on those flats, and it's that tiny little bait and you're throwing the whole boat at them, can't get them to bite. Get the heck away from those fish. Go find the bigger shad. And that, to me, has been so like an eye opener. Like, I will leave an area when it's that tiny, tiny little bait and just either start targeting like more individual fish instead of the whole schools, or just trying to literally find those bigger shad. And when you find those bigger shad, you can actually catch those fish because you're able to actually, I mean, match the hatch. It's so weird how much they care about that this time of year. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely downsizing my jerk baits though. Either way is you're gonna have to downsize the jerk bait, and I'm working it fast. Like, we ain't letting them look at it. I'm never pausing it, ripping that thing. Almost still like a summertime deal, but just if they get too good of a look at it, they know what's up. Especially down here, because it's like the clearest water we'll have all year long. We're like in a big time drought right now, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's super clear. And yeah, those fish, if they get too good of a look at it, they know what's up.
What's your downside? Like, what's the process? Like, you're going from like a 110 down to, or how small do you go? What are you using?
Uh there's like some 55, what is it? The Great Hunting, that little bitty megabass, the 55.
Okay.
That's usually about as small as I'll go to be able to still like work it effectively. That little
Yep.
crappie one just it was too light. I couldn't get her out there. But I mean, so Yozuri has like the 95. It's the little hardcore 95. That little sucker you can still cast a mile, works. Um, Pretty shallow. And this time of year, that's probably what I'm going to go to, is those shallower running jerkbaits, just because a lot of this stuff is like around those flats, or they're feeding so close to the surface. Um, and two, like, gosh, I don't even want to talk. Whenever you see the fish schooling and everybody's throwing the top waters in the schooling fish, sling that little jerkbait in there. Just, and even if it's like the regular 110 size, sling that thing in there. And a lot of times those little bit bigger fish are kind of, I think they're sitting under all the
Yeah.
other ones that are schooling, waiting just for stuff to drop down and get an easy meal. So throw that jerkbait in there, try to get under them a little bit.
I like that little bit higher percentage. You know, nobody's listening right now, Justin. So that tip
Good.
when that's a good one though. Throw that little jerkbait in there. But Rich, it's like the first time we've heard this. We ran into a situation on the Potomac this year where we had those little bitty minnows that the bass were feeding on, and if you were targeting the bass that were feeding on those little minnows, you weren't winning the tournament. You needed to go after the bluegill hunters, the bluegill eaters, and the crawfish eaters because they were bigger, a little bit easier to catch. And in the fall again, who we had somebody else talking about finding that bigger shad.
Dustin Cannell.
Oh
yeah, about it.
Yep, another Alabama boy down from your way, talking about finding that bigger shad. What are the keys to that? Like, do the bigger shad locate themselves? I get in different areas, different depths this time of year.
They do, but dude, it's so random. Like, I mean, a lot of times you're still you can find fish schooling on that little bitty bait, and then I mean you can go a mile down the river, pull up on another flat, and it's those 4 and 5 inch shad, and they're blowing up, and it's it it's so hard to pin that down. Obviously, like the majority of the shad is going to be out in the middle of that river channel, like, and I think that's where a lot of those bigger shad are. So I do try to stay closer to the deeper actual channel, but it can still, I mean, I've found them in the backs of pockets in 2 foot of water for some reason. It's just fall is all over the place.
They are where you find them.
Yeah. I wish I had a surefire answer, but there ain't one.
Yeah. Well, that's the answer, right? Cover water and keep your eyes peeled. And, I imagine, sonar is critical this time of year, finding that, I guess forward facing sonar can be a critical component because I can see the difference between little bitty bait and the bigger bait pretty easily on those units.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It definitely plays, but I'll say honestly for me it's probably the least it'll play all year.
No kidding.
For down here in Alabama, like especially if I'm tournament fishing, this time of year I'm fishing shallow. Like super shallow. I don't know why they get like those bigger fish get as shallow as they do, but it seems like they're if you want to be able to catch them, I don't know if a lot of the bigger fish are just out in the river, just not really doing much because we don't have a lot of current and stuff like that. But I'm 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 targeting like isolated wood on flats in like a foot, 2 foot of water. It seems like the fish that those bigger fish you can actually catch seem to be like the shallowest they are all year.
I like that.
Justin, we got a question on our message board from Coach Prince, and he wants to know this time of year what does your color selections look like on your jerkbaits, and then also where are you going with rattles versus silent jerkbaits when you're fishing in the cleaner water?
That's a great question, Coach. That silent jerkbait, are you employing that? I'm interested. I haven't seen guys talk about that much.
So we'll get to the silent part.
Yeah.
As far as the color, this time of year, I'm going to use the most translucent just so it doesn't give off as big of a profile, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, if I do find those bigger shad, I'll stick to more, the more natural shad colors. But if I can find the most translucent, that's kind of what I'm going for, just to make that profile seem smaller. And that clear water, it makes a difference. But so for the rattles, I wish there was a jerkbait that was a silent jerkbait that I could actually cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
why don't they make that? Why? I mean, they could weight it such that, but I noticed that too. They took the weight right out of those silent baits. Man, they will not go.
I'm gonna fix that. So y'all just wait.
Okay. All right.
It's coming. It's in the works. And dude, I cannot wait. I've actually got like the free range just to build my own jerkbait however I want. Oh, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be so good. But that was one of like the biggest things for me was wanting that silent. Like I would love to throw the silent, especially in the clear water or if the fish are like super pressured, which I think all fish are now. I think it makes a difference.
No doubt. Did you we had Ot Defo on and he was talking about, and we've had Seth talk about it, the using the braid, replacing the split rings with braid. Have you done that?
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while.
Is that right?
Yeah, I definitely do that a lot. It has a lot of benefits. Not only does it make it silent, but just the landing ratio, I think, is so much better. That, but
How
Yeah.
much better? How much better are we talking? Like, like, are we talking,
Yeah.
10% better or 40% better?
I think
like,
Rich is trying to get to, do I have to spend
Right.
8 hours a day replacing all my split rings?
like, are my nights gonna be replacing all my treble hooks this week or not?
Yeah.
it depends on what if you're targeting smallmouth, it makes, I'd say,
Okay.
probably 20%.
All right.
Like it makes a big, if they're daggum choking on it, I'm going just regular. Like
Mhm.
that don't matter. And also be careful if they start swatting at it, it can seem like to me like they'll push the hooks out of the way sometimes. Does that make
with the
sense?
braid,
With the braid, like because they're
makes sense.
not as stationary,
Right.
they kind of push them out of the way sometimes. So
Yep.
be careful with like the slapping of it. But if you actually get it hooked, it's coming in the boat.
Wow. Wow. Well, just when this was fascinating to us because I was tying it for us on the last show, and he was rattling the baits that that were silent with the split rings and a silent bait with the braid, and the noise, the quietness of the braid, like getting rid of that split ring was unbelievable how much quieter it made the bait. I was blown away. So if you're looking for silent, man, it's got to be part of the gig.
I've got another way around it. Well, you'll just have to wait and see.
This is all. When are we going to see this prototype? When is this coming out?
It's like, so this actually started, like I'm actually started like I drew it out and we've been going back and forth. So it is not even close to being done. I just know everything I want on it, and we're getting the first like prototypes of it. And but I'm not releasing it until this thing's perfect. Like
Is it going to be with Yozuri?
it is not.
Not okay. All right.
Well, we look forward to seeing this prototype. But when you're tying your braid knot, what pound test are you using, and what knot are you using?
So it's the same knot that I ties, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Or I don't know of any different one, but I'm pretty sure I saw a video he was doing it. It was the same one, but I on the jerk baits, I'll usually go 50 to 65 pound.
Mm.
Like
Damn.
I'm not going that small stuff. Forget that. I ain't having it break. But like when I was spoon fishing, I used like 130 pound for that back spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I use that big stuff.
Yeah.
So
You
it all depends.
You do this with traps too, or lipless baits?
Who throws those anymore?
I don't know.
I haven't done it with them. I don't
Really?
know. I haven't been on that bite in so long. Oh,
Really?
gosh, I've missed that bite. That used to be so much
Come hang
fun.
out with us a little bit up here.
Yeah,
We
that
don't have any grass anymore.
Wow, that's it. Well, I mean, where do you have time to throw it? You're always throwing a jerkbait. You got to pick one.
Yeah, I have more confidence in that jerkbait.
Yeah,
Just
that's it.
being
Well,
able to suspend that thing like through the grass, and that's what kind of got me thinking about it before we got on. Just like why it's so good is, dude, you can't suspend another bait out there. And I think
Right.
that just separates that jerkbait so much. It's the most natural sitting position, suspended, just like a bait fish is. And there's not another bait out there that can do that.
do you think it's going to win again, that bait in this year's classic?
Mm, it's gonna be a contender unless we have unless there's another like crazy flood, which it still won that last time when there was a crazy flood. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a contender. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm excited about that one. There's gonna be some bags caught.
Yeah. Well, we fully expect that. I mean, we're going to be in Texas. Of course, if you get the ice storms, you know, that which always can be a problem down there, the freezing cold weather. I guess we'll see how that affects things.
Right.
Oh, I hope it does.
That's when the big ones fight.
You want that.
That's what Texas freshwater fisheries, the share lunkers, they all come in when it's freezing cold.
Yeah, I want it to be like below freezing. I want everybody else to be miserable.
You sicko.
Oh, dude, so good.
I guess we haven't experienced it yet because the 2 times that we've fished in Texas after our event, it's been like that, but the fishing hasn't been great. It's more just like,
your tongue. I caught my fish.
Oh, you did.
I caught a fish.
Did. You know,
in the defense of the fishing, Justin, we're flying in to do these events. We have like a rain suit, and we're out there trying to fish in 20-mile-an-hour winds,
ice storm, 2 years in a row.
You know, we don't have the gear to be able to survive the conditions, so we don't really know if the big fish were biting or not. We could only make it for like an hour before we had to get back to the fire.
I mean, to me, the Thursday that we were there when it was 70 and sunny seemed like a really good fishing day.
No, I mean, dude, whenever it's nasty like that, you're not going to catch as many. And now that 20-mile-per-hour wind, that I don't like that. That ain't no fun for nobody. Get that out of here. But whenever it's just brutal cold, you're not going to catch as many. But for some reason, those big ones bite. That's why I've caught all my biggest fish like around these giant spotted bass. The colder, the better. So good.
Well, we'll see what happens. Down there, the weather, can easily go either way. And you famously, remember this from the Classic, you chased the cold water in that tournament.
That when you said that on our live show, Justin, after the Classic, that completely changed my mentality fishing. That for this past spring, and it worked. Like it worked. Like I won early season tournaments, not giving a damn about the water temperature,
about trying to find the warmest water.
It didn't even. I was like, don't matter. Hamner just won the Classic in the coldest stuff on the lake.
Dude. I mean, it's all about the fish you want to target, and I was wanting to target the most free spawn fish I can find. They're the healthiest, fattest, and most reliable. So forget those stupid spawners. They're too wishy-washy.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that was amazing that you did that. We're talking about a little bit about spotted bass. Have you been fishing Lanier at all lately? Because we're going to be going there in a couple weeks. I'm just curious.
I've never been there.
No kidding.
Never been there. I want to go so bad.
Looks like it's fishing good.
Yeah. I wonder if I guess they'll still be schooling on the fall pattern. I imagine there, but they'll be all spotted bass. 4 and 5 pound spotted bass. Everybody's going to be throwing topwaters. You know what I'm going to be throwing?
Senko.
Jerkbait.
Senko.
And the Senko.
That's awesome.
That's rough treatment I get around this place, Justin. But
yeah. Hey, tell Rich how much money you've won off of Senko, though.
I know it.
That'll shut him up.
I know. What's even worse? That I fight this with my son. Me and my son were out fishing over the weekend, and he loves catching them on glides and firing all kinds of technical stuff he's playing around with, getting better with. And I'll let him control the trolling motor a lot of time, and I just fire the Senko around, and there's another one, and he starts cussing me and the Senko, for catching fish. I'm like, look, dude, whatever it takes. You throw the tool that works. That's all you do.
I just put up a facade so that people don't think I throw it. That's all that is. It looks like Justin probably just got a phone call.
Yeah, we forgot to I just snuck in my do not disturb just before this show got started.
Yep, we got you back. Yeah.
Well, now that I got you back, we got some interesting things that are popping up that are going to affect you.
I don't think he can hear us.
Can you hear us now?
You got our audio. That would be thumbs down. I guess you can't hear us. You might have to go out and come back in, which I think he has already figured out. That's what he's got to do.
Yeah, I'll text him, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's well, lay off the Senko, man, because you guys are all negatively influenced. Like, I don't care. I don't throw the freaking thing except for it's a utility bait, you know, but I have a stigma of using a lot, and I have done well with it from time to time. But like what I teach Jake and I teach everybody that I work with is like, man, I don't care what
catches the fish.
You got to pick up a jerk bait, you got to pick up a spinner bait, you got to pick up a stick bait. Whatever you pick up, you need to have equal confidence that you're going to be successful with that. And every single tool has its job. So you can't get down on, and you know where I think he gets it now that I sit there and think about it. He gets it from me. Because I hate on the drop shot.
Oh, yeah.
He hears me cussing the drop shot because like every single time I want to throw it, I go to pick up the rod and it's tangled with something that's wrapped somewhere, or I have one of the weight, the good weight keepers, and I go to grab my rod and I hook myself with the drop shot hook because it's exposed. It's like everything about that but I've challenged myself this year. I've been throwing it, started over the summer. I keep it out and I'm throwing that more and more and trying to stop hating on it.
I think we got Justin back, Justin.
But I'm hopefully going to stop hating on that permanently.
Can you hear us now?
Yes. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
That happens sometimes when we get a call, but I was going to ask you this question because there's a lot of changes going on. I noticed, everybody was talking about forward facing. Should we keep it or kill it? Bass seem to schedule tournaments that do. I guess best way to phrase it is they don't favor forward facing sonar. How do you feel about the new schedule, or whether to keep that technology? Where's the Classic Champ sit on that?
I'm excited about the schedule. I just like that kind of fishing. Like, that's kind of where I grew up. But obviously in Alabama, I'm a swim jig, flipping, frogging in the heart. But also just being able to use that, like my jerkbait, in those weird scenarios. Like, I'm still fishing river systems, so it's kind of cool. That's what I've been able to take that jerkbait and kind of do those different things on bodies of water just wouldn't expect. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be good. And as far as the technology, I'm for it. I think it's great. I want to catch as many fish as I can. So yeah, I'm all about it.
Well, I know you were talking on your seminar about you're noticing that you have to get further and further away from fish. Is that trend continuing where, that tech, you got to get out there around 100 feet now to trigger strikes sometimes?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that has more to do with just the amount of boat pressure in general. These fish are getting so educated, and the further you can stay off of them and they not know you're there, no doubt it makes a difference in getting, especially those bigger fish, just getting them to trigger.
Yeah. Any tips for that? Just distance. I know you mentioned we talked about casting distance, and that's a problem with the silent ones, but just being able to cast that far, is that the best tip? Is there any other strategies for triggering those fish from a distance?
Get your cast lined up. Like, as soon as you see those fish, that mean you have to just try to bomb it out. Get your angle, get everything kind of set up right to where you're not, you know what I mean? Especially like if it's like a brush pile per se. Don't just fling it out there just because you immediately saw it out there. Make sure, you know, if it's a super far cast, get your back to the wind a little bit, but don't be coming up on it too hard. Set the boat up right before you make that cast.
Patience. Yeah, that's hard to do because you see those fish, you get so worked up, but you gotta yeah, it's still it's just like positioning on a brush pile. You got to get that boat positioning right.
Yep. Just because you see that dock, up there doesn't mean you're going to immediately sling your jig, try to skip under it. You get that boat right, how you need to get it positioned to make that right cast. So same way as those offshore fish.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the schedule. You're excited about that. That's cool. You're into the technology. Now the rookies this year, kind of, man, there was a lot of drama going on with guys
There was.
doing. How did that affect you? What's your take on it?
So it didn't affect me at all. I mean, I just hate all the negativity that came out of the sport this year. That to me was like the only thing I guess that affected me was because we're getting to fish for a living, and it just sucks that there's so much back and forth about arguing about how. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think any one person on either side is going to be right. Now there were some things that the rookies might have done that, I mean, I think they get their act together or whatever. And some of the ruling stuff is hard to enforce. And I hope we can work that kind of stuff out. But, as far as new rookies and stuff like that, no, that don't affect me. I was in their shoes not too long ago, and I don't feel like everybody welcomed me with open arms either. Not to this point, because I didn't come in and whoop everybody's butt. So I think that caused a lot of issue.
Yeah.
It's just how good they are. But no, I think it's good for the sport because I think it's literally what we designed it to be was being working from high school to college through especially the whole 9 opens. I mean, to get the best of the best, and I think we did, and it showed.
Yeah, they all made the classic. It was just a tremendous rookie season. Of course, it didn't phase you hardly at all. I mean, you were in there battling for AOI, but those guys did good. I think, and I got to admire a lot of the work ethic of that rookie class in particular. I mean, a lot of their success is just coming from blood, sweat, and tears, and
Yep.
that's sometimes that gets lost in the shuffle, but those guys are putting in so much time and learning so much about these bodies of water, and they did a phenomenal job this year. So you got to take hats off for that.
Absolutely. I'm never going to fault or try to complain about somebody putting in the work and doing that, It's more props to them.
And you got another rookie class coming in that's looking pretty hot, for this year. So it's going to continue. I mean, the elites are continuing to build themselves to be the best top level fishermen on the planet, because this next crop has got some talented veterans and some brand new guys. It's quite a new group of guys.
Yeah, yeah, just throw Dakota Bear and, Cody Myers. Good gosh, they're already proving how good they are. But
Mhm.
that Easton Fothergill, that kid's gonna be a problem. That dude can catch them.
Well said. Yeah, he picked up two wins this year.
Yeah,
In addition to the AOI, man, that's a
yeah.
phenomenal year.
I was in studio for one of the wins. I think it was at Eufaula, and just sitting there watching him all day and like hearing his whole thought process and like, a lot of stuff that doesn't even get shown on live, whatever. But that's a smart kid.
Yeah.
He's just fishy. You know what I mean? And he wasn't scared to like make those decisions. Just he catches a big one and is like, all right, I know, know I got this one, but I'm just gonna go up the river and start slinging a chatterbait in 2 foot of water, and didn't even hesitate. Went up there, filled out his limit. Yeah, he's gonna be an issue.
He's going to be an issue. Well, I know they're feeling that same way about you. They're the kids that are coming in, and they're like, wow, we got to contend with with Justin and all the rest. So you're setting yourself apart that way, and it's great to see, man. And I appreciate so much. I appreciate you being part of Bass U. The seminars that you put together for us are phenomenal, and have helped a lot of guys get confident, in particular in their jerkbait fishing.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank y'all for having me. And I don't know, I just like fishing. I just don't tell all the secrets.
well, I look forward to hearing about this this new secret that you're working on, man. We got to get this. I want to get eyes on it. I hope when you get this thing ready that you'll come on and share it with us and show us what the final product looks like.
Absolutely, dude. I'm so excited. This is something I've wanted to do for years. It's just like, man, why can't do this? Or, I wish you could do this little tweak, and finally being able to get my hands on it and do it myself is pretty awesome.
Yeah. What do you have a timeline? Do you think you'll bring it out this next year? What do you think?
It'll be out next year. I can't say at what point, but definitely it'll be out next year.
Okay.
I wish I had a more defined timeline, but I'm not. We ain't releasing it until it's right. So when it gets right, it'll go.
Hey, send some prototypes, Bass U's. We'll give you our opinion if you need it.
Okay. I'll get you.
Yeah, we'd love to look at that. And like I said, when it's done, you make sure we'll have you on and we'll talk all about the finished product, and look forward to that. And look forward to seeing you at this year's Classic, man. Hopefully you get that cold weather you're looking for.
Heck yeah. It's going to be a great time either way. But thank y'all for having me. I'll come on whenever y'all get ready. Talk about jerkbaits in the wintertime one time.
Yeah. How about we schedule that? We'll do that in a couple months. Let's talk about jerkbaits in the wintertime. I like that topic. But thanks so much, Justin. Appreciate you. Congratulations again on a great year, and we'll catch up with you. Well, we're going to catch up with you in a couple months to talk about wintertime fishing. I look forward to that.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, you bet. Have a great day. Justin Hamner, everybody, the Classic Champ 2024, dropping some knowledge on us.
Yep.
Some interesting things. I love that, chasing that cold water, man.
Yep, me too.
That blew by a lot of people, I imagine, and that was a powerful.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway from that seminar.
Yeah,
honestly,
and it for me, what the fundamental shift it did for me when we had him on post Classic talking about that and that strategy was that it made me aware. It made me painfully aware that there's a lot of factors that go into finding fish in the springtime, but there's more important factors that go into finding biting fish in the springtime. And for me personally, one of the mental hurdles that I had to overcome was when I would get around, I know I'm around fish, but the water temp is 43. And I can get in the back of a creek and the water temp's 47. That doesn't mean that those fish in the back of that creek are going to be biting better just because the water's warmer. If the fish that are in 43 have a better food source, they have better current, they have better habitat to live on, those three things are probably going to outweigh that one factor in water temperature. And when he said that, that made the light bulb go off, that water temperature in the early spring is not everything. It's a factor. It's definitely a big factor, but there are other factors that if you have 5 things stacked up against this one thing, you have a lot better chance at getting those fish to bite.
Yep.
And it worked.
He said it, and I agree with him, is the fickle nature of the pre-spawn bass that have moved into that warmer water is a problem.
Yeah.
Right. If the conditions are benefiting you, where it's a warming trend, stable conditions, then that warm water surge can be a real positive. But in the springtime, the weather changes and the temperature drops.
Yep.
So those pre-spawners can move up and then they can pull back. They can get active, become inactive. Whereas if you just back up a step and target those colder water pre-spawners, they're stable, feeding. They're doing what they're going to do, independent on the weather change. So really fascinating study, and it's helping us all become better anglers at Bass University. we're going to take a quick break, Joss. Or you got something you want to share? Okay. Well, we're going to be giving away some great prizes. I hope you were paying attention because we're giving away one of the new Bass U hoodies and some Crush City baits. And we're going to be doing that right after this.
Welcome to Minnow King. How can I help you?
Everything looks good. I'm friggin' starving, man. Been spawning all morning.
Ugh, TMI, bro. What do you want?
I'll take a Crush City freeloader and gizzard shad.
Anything to drink.
Water.
Pull ahead, please. Welcome to Minnow King.
We're gonna have what he's had.
Yeah, throw me in a net BLT, too.
Pull ahead, please.
Calm down. Quit feeding so much.
Oh, yeah, man, I'm trying to, man.
If you overfeed him, he's gonna hide under a log.
Right here, Aqua View, mandatory equipment in my boat. I say it all the time. The smallmouths hide in the cracks in the rocks, and just saw a little bit of the same kind of rock with the cracks in it. And I realized that I had to put a bait down there. You wouldn't, idle over them and see them on your screen. You had to put a bait down there and suck them out of the rock. So, Aqua View, big assist on this one.
And outdoors Bassmaster Classic champion,
Coffee. The angler's ritual. A reason to leave your cozy covers, even if you aren't headed to the river. We started Angler's Coffee because, well, we love to fish, we love coffee, and we care. Think of it as the rise before the rise.
Why do you love casting fishing rods?
I'm truly losing less fish.
Is the sensitivity of the rod.
That they're made right here in North Carolina in the USA. Strongest, lightest rod, 100% made here in Sanford, North Carolina.
From the drop shot rod to the flipping stick. Every rod has a purpose to it, and I rely on them all the time when I'm out there in a tournament.
Durability in the John Cruz Worming series, the counterbalancing in the handle.
It's the only rod I found that can withstand my hook set. Boom goes the dynamite.
On the water, not spent fishing is a moment wasted. That's why Minn Kota and Humminbird have joined forces to bring you the One Boat Network. Products that communicate and integrate to help you take full command of your boat. Born from our commitment to making the most advanced fishing gear even better by making it work together. The One Boat Network will help you find, get to, stay on, and catch more fish. When One Boat Network products talk to each other, they can navigate your boat automatically. They can give you a crystal clear view of what's below with no messy wires. And they can let you lower, raise, and change shallow water anchor modes from anywhere on the boat. But that's just the beginning. We're never done innovating, integrating, and making your boat simpler and easier to control. All so you can make every second on the water count.
We're back.
Welcome back to Bass University Live. I'm sure you guys heard me earlier, but our ticket window's open over at bassu.tv. Go check it out. And we've got our Anderson, South Carolina and Athens, Texas events. The ticket windows are open right now. So get yourself a ticket, plan for something really cool and fun to do in the wintertime. Ask your partner, wife, girlfriend, whatever, for that's what you want for Christmas. Come down and spend some cool time with us with some of the best anglers on the planet. I promise we're going to be delivering that and having a lot of fun at Bass University classes this year. And this weekend, the Ike Foundation is busy. What's going on, Joss?
The Ike Foundation will be in Woodstown this weekend doing a Hook 'em Early, where they're going to take 100 kids and give them rod reels, tackle boxes, and we're going to teach them how to fish. So if you are not busy on Saturday and would love to volunteer, we could use some volunteers.
Yeah, teach a kid to fish. It's amazing what it can do. So many kids these days. I was lucky. My dad fished, so he took me fishing. A lot of people that I work with, their dad, uncle, grandpa took them fishing. Well, a lot of kids don't have a relative that fishes. They're learning to fish on the internet, on YouTube. They're getting excited about it, but they don't really have a way to get out there and learn how to do it. So that's a great event. So check it out this weekend. Go to ikefoundation.org. If you can participate, come down and help some kids learn how to do this awesome sport. The weather should be nice, which is awesome.
And we're going to be giving out some candy. So if you want to dress up.
That's
candy.
That's
what
fun.
I'm talking about.
Are you gonna
candy? And
what's
Hot
your
Wings.
costume?
Well, I have a Halloween party at night, and me and my best friend are being Slinky Dog from Toy Story.
Ah,
yeah, that's awesome. Are you? So you were dual
we're a dual costume.
Yeah,
we do it every year. We do something fun every year.
That's
would
cool.
today have been our Halloween show, or do we have another chance?
It's next week.
We have another chance because this is the 26th.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I have to do a Halloween show.
I know.
I want to see what you guys dress up as.
Well, I want to see Slinky Dog.
I'm dressing up as Jeff Olson. Shout out to Jeff Olson.
What would that costume be like?
Cameraman,
cigar,
IPA.
Cigar and an IPA.
It'd be a great day at the office. Shout out to Jeff, our producer extraordinaire.
Yes,
on the backside of things for Batch U, doing all the amazing wizardry work behind the scenes.
And look for that to. We're doing some really fun and innovative stuff for our Bass University Productions moving into 2025. So we look forward to showing you guys our new stuff that is we think you're really going to like, showing off the talents and the capabilities. We think we're the best in the world at producing content that teaches people how to fish.
Speaking of, what is being released this week?
Speaking of, this week in the On the Water, my laptop has also just frozen, so I'm going to do my best. If I say a wrong date here on something, guys, please bear with me. But this week in the On the Water category, we are releasing a jerkbait masterclass, and that is going to be an in-depth look. An in-depth look in everything you need to know as it pertains to jerkbait fishing. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that one. And then this week in the On the Waters, we are releasing Mike Iaconelli, Fundamentals of the Free Rig. The free rig is a technique that has burst onto the scene in the last couple of years here, and it has some amazing potential to put fish in the boat for you when other baits simply just won't. And it's a technique that started out in Japan, and Mike Iaconelli got to experience that technique firsthand in Japan in the early on days of that technique coming about. But since it has evolved into being able to do a lot of different things with it, as most techniques do, they get advanced. People start tinkering with things, and now you can use it in applications almost with a power fishing approach. So you definitely want to go check that one out. Free Rig Fundamentals with Mike Iaconelli. It's a sneaky little technique to put a couple extra fish in the boat in a day on the water.
This year on the Toyota series, we had I won my Coes, which using the Free Rig to great success for smallmouth. Really cool stuff.
Yep.
We just filmed a BFS bait. How do I say that?
Bait finesse systems.
I learned about that. At
Bait finesse systems.
Cash and Rods has a
BFS
well,
their rod, the Cash and BFS rod is like one of the best selling rods for this technique out there. And Mike goes into detail about how he's using this technique and what he's learned about it. It's real popular. Be able to throw micro vibrating jigs, and there's mini jerk baits and all that stuff with a bait casting system to trigger strikes in pressured water and in situations that your more traditional techniques, sized baits can't trigger. So really cool stuff. So that's going to be coming out on Bass.
And guys, real quick, check out in the member benefits page on the Bass University site. You can save money on Aqua View cameras, and let me tell you, if you have not checked out Aqua View cameras, if you haven't used one, you want to get your hands on one. I admittedly, up until this year, I hadn't learned quite as much how to apply it, and but now that that are becoming effective and efficient using an Aqua View camera. It is mind-blowing what you can do with these cameras to make you more efficient when you're out on the water. In my scenario, it's played for me several times in practice. You hook a fish or you shake a fish off underneath of a dock, and then you drop that camera down there and you say, wow, this has gone from a C area dock to an A++ area dock when you get to see what really lives down there and what's down there below. And it really solidifies what we think we know as anglers from above the water. You can put that Aqua View camera down there and it proves what's really under the water. And the possibilities are endless of what you can do with this thing. It's not only just to see fish, it's to see habitat, it's to see every type of marine life out there. So check them out at aquaview.com, and in the member benefit side of Bass University, you can save some money on your Aqua View camera.
Yeah, it's a secret of the pros. A lot of guys aren't really talking about it that much, but they're using it.
As Jeff Gustafson has said on many occasions, mandatory equipment in his boat at all times.
Yep, for sure. Go check that out and like and share. This is your last chance to like and share the feed. We're going to be picking a winner and giving away some cool Cross City stuff. And I think you have put out the grand prize question, Josh.
I did, and the question was, what pound braid does Justin use to tie his hooks on? And the answer was 50 to 65 and Bassmaster 2K2 won.
Good job, 2K2.
It's funny because a dude named Lauren said, listen for an hour for the trivia question and have to take a 10-minute work call and miss it.
Oh man. Sorry. Hey, for future
next week.
Yeah, for future reference, every week we're going to be doing the trivia, and it'll be somewhere between 12 p.m. and 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So
don't schedule any meetings.
That's it. Yep.
No meetings.
Yep.
No meeting. Nobody should be having meetings during this 11 to 12:30 period.
Yeah, come on with that.
Come on, hang out with us and talk fishing. What could be better?
Josh, we got a sub of the week in that in our column over there. Our good buddy Craig. Yep, our good buddy Craig Duran, Bass University member and friend of the show.
Eco Bass
Angler got the classic win for the 5 Alive Bassmasters to go along with his Angler of the Year title, to go along with his Lunker of the Year title for the 5 Alive Bassmasters.
And cap off his 3rd win.
Yes.
This year.
So well done, Craig Durand. Talk about a clean swizzy on the 5 Alive side.
That was a heck of a year, CD.
Dude,
well done, man.
It was.
It was crazy. And it was a battle too, because I think he won by just they were at Saratoga Lake for their classic, and it's a body of water where the weights are always real close,
stacked,
and a lot of fish, but it's hard to get those 4s and 5s. And
is it ever? It's hard to get a 3 there.
Yeah, well, Craig did. He got a nice one and took that W. So shout out to 5 Alive for running an amazing club and great tournament trail. It's well participated in by guys in the tri-state area. Everybody loves it. I think they're setting the pace on how to run a bass fishing club.
No doubt.
He won $5,000.
No, yep.
That.
It's solid.
Jocelyn's eyes got this big. So she's in.
Solid.
She's in. $5,000 for the classic winner.
I'm just gonna jump into a fishing tournament and watch. We'll win.
You will. All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We'll go. Delaware River tournaments are coming up.
I'm in.
Yeah.
It's right near where I live.
We got to get you some.
Just
you got to
pick me
bring
up on the way.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get you some ski gear. You got to wear that cold weather stuff.
Oh, it is really cold.
Yeah. November. It's going to turn. It hasn't turned yet, but it's going to start turning cold.
You ain't kidding. It hasn't turned.
Yeah.
If you're out there fishing today, you need to be wearing sunscreen.
Yeah. No kidding.
80 degrees.
No kidding.
But the fish are still biting.
And good luck to you and Justin. Jake and I may join you in the Chester County Open this Saturday. If all goes well, we're going to get down there and have some fun. Try to fish another tournament before the cold blast comes on and Jake's wrestling season kicks off, which is going to be happening here real soon.
We have a like and share winner.
Like and share winner.
Manuel Canyon.
Thank you for liking and sharing, Manuel. I hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to be back next week. We got to remember to schedule Justin for a wintertime jerkbait. Let's get him on the calendar. We're going to do that today. We'll pick a couple dates and we'll talk about that because we've covered them pretty good. What do you got, Josh?
That was it. No.
That was it. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see everybody. Get out and do some fishing. Would you join us this weekend at the Ike Foundation event if you can? And we will see you right back here next week for another edition of Bass University Live. It ends straight.